Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I am your host, Ahmani. I am also joined with Leon.
Hello, it is I, me,
Yeah,
the
the
lion.
lion's here. I got him.
Yes.
What you doing, bro?
Uh, Nothing much. Also, didn't we have something earlier?
What you mean?
I was going to reference that Pele was supposed to be here, but he
Oh yeah, no,
he was
no,
a
no.
dying
Yeah,
man.
Pele's dying, so we told him to
Yeah,
relax,
so
and
he decided to get off.
he's all good. Too
It's
much.
duo today, not nothing, no trio.
Yeah. So we'll be running
But
forward with
I've
that.
been well. hmm I've been good. Nothing too bad. I guess since you're talking to me,
Yeah.
I guess I'll go my paper and play in action right now. Um, well, here's a little fun thing.
Okay.
With work today, mundane, nothing really too exciting aside from the fact that someone fell and broke their arm. So
That's not great.
that's a nice little thing to happen.
Wait, hold up. How did they break their arm? It's a genuine question.
Okay, so the person who they broke their arm by the floor itself being a little slick from just water being on there, and the coal coming in, I believe, as well,
Mhm.
because it's a back door. It's like it's swung open every single time, so the water probably kind of crystallized a
All
bit.
right, so it got a little icy.
And when they stepped on to trying to go out, the door to the cooler swung open because someone was walking out, and that made her slip. And she tried to catch herself, and by doing so, she broke her arm. And yeah.
That's fair. That would do it.
hmm It was a nice little moment. Also, it was even better because of the fact that the front of house manager left because she was afraid of snow, so she put me in
That's
charge,
fair.
and so I had to help deal with the situation, being in charge. So I'm like,
You're
fuck.
like, oh, sick. I gotta figure out what to do about somebody with a broken arm. That's crazy.
Fortunately enough, the general manager was there too, and we got situated, and everyone, the paramedics came and such.
I was about to
But
say, yeah, no,
it
the
took like
thing
an
that makes
hour
sense
30
is
just for them to get there.
why did
So
it take so long?
it's weather conditions and mini wrecks apparently.
Yeah, that makes sense. People just struggling out there.
Yeah. So
But
that's a little thing. So that was a fun time.
of course.
But aside from reality, fiction's been pretty good. Um, my little sting. Soul Leveling season 2. I watched the first episode of that.
Okay, bet.
Absolutely
Haven't
fantastic.
looked into the second season yet.
You need to.
Will do.
Great.
Will do for sure. I want to. Um,
I do have like nitpicks. It's not like it's bad. It's just I noticed things because I read the manhwa.
but yeah.
Uh,
Oh, so there's changes.
yeah, there are like a little middle minor changes. It's not like drastic, but it's like a little snidbit in the beginning just felt kind of off, and I kind of remember it differently. Which something did happen, which that moment can be put somewhere else
Okay.
easily. Um, and then the second part is just budget cuts.
Oh, so it's not as it doesn't look as good as the first season.
No, it looks phenomenal. It looks phenomenal, but I noticed that um
A couple more
there are
lulls.
certain amount of characters not there in this arc than there should be
Okay.
because mm-hmm,
So so like
yeah they
well, obviously in the manhwa. Okay, I don't know what arc they're on. I've heard about
mm-hmm,
certain arcs that involve like several people going and getting murked. Um, so
mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that that's what's happening. Is like a lot of fodder characters aren't there, or
Yeah, a lot of fodder characters
okay,
aren't there, and it's not that they're the ones getting murked. It's more on uh the number that's because the group that's supposed to be there, that number isn't showing to be with the group that's supposed to be with them.
okay.
Because when it cuts to them all sitting down doing something, it's like, oh hey, there are significantly less people than there should be here.
They just don't have as many people.
I specifically remember it being like at least 4 or 5 more people there.
It's like we definitely had
So
Less.
it's this little arc is like a little, it feels like it's being rushed a bit more to get to
The
the
bigger stuff later on, I'm assuming.
bigger stuff coming up,
Gotcha.
but it still works well. It looks fantastic. Uh, no little fun animation differences in the manga too, but I can't go into that because that's
That's
spoilers.
fair.
The fun little badass scene. Um, but yeah, it's great. Soul Leveling, watch it.
Will do. It was already on the list
um,
anyway. Me and Devon are
well,
going
this is
through a
not for
couple
you. I know
different
you
shows,
will.
so we'll
It's for
probably
the
get
other
to it.
people out there. That one person back there. Watch it.
Oh yeah, though you know you are that guy that hasn't watched it yet.
Yeah, do it. It's only 12 episodes right now.
I did hear I have
No,
a really fun
13 episodes.
conversation about solo leveling with one of my friends today. It's really funny. Because she was going to, she ended up reading solo leveling because she
Oh,
thought it was a BL. And then when she figured out that it wasn't
really?
a BL, she was like, "This shit's pretty good though, so I'll just continue." And I was
Was
like,
she reading the light novel or the manhwa?
probably the manhwa.
Webtoon, I should say.
From the way she described it, she was like, "Hey, yeah, no, what it was is it was on the app that I usually read on my BL. It was, I think it was specifically a BL like app, but for some reason it was just on there. So she was like, oh, it must be a BL, and she read it and got far enough and was like, I don't think this is a BL, but damn, you have my attention." And I'm just like, that's funny as fuck. That's such a weird way to get into a
That's funny.
show. Oh, for those that don't know, I guess I explain this for anybody that isn't aware. Um, Japan has different genres of manga and different types and stuff like that. The romance genre specifically has like, well, romance, and then it has I believe it's GL and BL. BL being boy love and GL being girl love. And it's just girl on girl action or boy on boy action, you know? It's that. But I think that's fair for a slight explanation for anybody that just doesn't understand that one.
Yeah, 100%.
And both genres have whatever fan service it needs to have to do what it needs to do for those people that enjoy that.
Yes, to entice them, to let them enjoy.
I
So.
enjoy romance. I'm not a GL lover or a BL lover for that matter. So that's
As long as it cohesively works well in the story and is organic,
yeah.
that's fine.
But you know the way the genre works, you kind of seek it out. It's not like it's something that just pops up. So you know,
Yeah,
I just have no reason to seek it out.
I agree. I do agree.
I've read shonen manga, bro. Maybe a seinen here and there, but predominantly shonen manga. It just doesn't pop up for me. Like, this is not how it works. I'm trying to see people fight. There's a couple romance stuff that I'll read in there every so often because you know I like a little romance, but like I surprisingly don't actually seek out romantic manga. I'll watch a romantic anime, no problem, but I don't seek out romantic mangas quite often.
Well, most romantic romance mangas, at least in my eyes, are kind of one note. Mostly do the same things over and over.
I mean,
So
much like
you're not
shonen.
really getting much of a difference. Yeah, basically. So I guess shonen, the difference with shonen is the fact that there's different flavors. Because although the characters can be similar, the system, world, so on and so forth, which also could be technically be the same for romances as well. But I think it's more close knit together because it's more reality, side of life stuff instead of it being a fantasy world.
That's fair. Oh,
And not, 9 times out of 10, if it is romance too, it's very exaggerated romance, not like realistic. If it is realistic, it feels kind of
that's fair.
off put, cringe sometimes.
So I'm gonna do this since there's the two of us, right? And we're just probably just gonna go back and forth, and it's gonna be a lot of reading material for people, to be honest, because that tends to be what me and you do when we're together. Is it's reading material or anime
Yeah,
material.
yeah.
I wanna go on a little mini rant right now,
Go
just a
ahead.
little one. So obviously I've been reading like some keeping up with some other stuff, like some of the same stuff I've been keeping up with. I decided to jump back into I believe it's like a goblin and not a goblin. I'm trying to remember what the name of it is. I've been suggesting this thing for so long I forgot the name. That's crazy because it's actually one of my favorites.
I know what it is.
I got you in 2 seconds. I will tell you exactly what it is because
It's webtoons,
yeah,
right?
it's a webtoon, but it's
Just a goblin.
just a goblin, bro. When I tell you this right now, bro, Because I had to catch up real quick. I'm gonna roll up my sleeves for this fucking rant, bro. There is a special place in hell for Tyros, is all I'm saying. So, for me personally, I, Just a Goblin has the potential to have one of the best villains. One of the best villains that's up there with the likes of Neo and Griffith.
Really?
Yes. Because genuinely the way the story is set up is it does the thing. Okay. So Sasuke tries to do this basically in Naruto, but it doesn't really work out because they never are willing to set Sasuke down the full path of being a villain, right? For someone that
Yeah.
decides to go down a dark path, he has to be redeemable by the end of the series. Tyros does not have to be redeemable by the end of this series. They have like hints that they might try to do it, and then there's like stuff that happens where it's like, nah. Best way I can describe this though is without giving too much. I mean, obviously I gave spoilers by having the idea that Tyros is the villain, right? But they do pull what is essentially kind of a Griffith thing, right? Um, it is not as uh I guess in depth as I would say Berserk is, because Berserk is a masterpiece, so it's kind of hard to truly capture that. But like they're trying their damnedest, and that's what matters.
You're
Because
seeing it and you're like, oh, this is going up there now. I
because
see.
Tyros is
Okay.
like presented. I mean, obviously, I said they pulled a Griffith, so like Tyros is presented in the very beginning as like a hero figure. He's an ally to our main characters, and without spoiling too much, events unfold, and he as the other protagonist of the story. He's clearly an antagonist, but like quote unquote, the way they follow him makes him the other protagonist in a way too, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
Best way I could describe this is I understand why he's like this. I get what he is doing. Fuck that nigga. He presents a level of danger to the story that like is genuinely concerning sometimes, because the best way I can describe this is he has the ability and the autonomy to just pull up to places and make things worse. And when he gets into fights with characters, because right now he's getting a fight with like two, right, like currently established and I care about characters, right? They're side characters for the
Mm-hmm.
most part, but you're established by them. And for him to be there and be fighting them, I'm like, them niggas can die. And now I'm afraid. Cause he can't die yet, obviously. They set it up in a way in which obviously, because of the way this is, these like Nog and Tyros have to come to blows again. Like it will have to happen, much like the Guts and Griffith situation, much like Vagabond, right? Where like
Mm-hmm.
they have to clash again, like Naruto. So like it's like the equivalent of having a fight. But okay, this is how I can really frame this, because in Naruto there's a scene, right? Where had Naruto not shown up, this could have been a character death that could have like changed things. So Sakura has the bright idea that she's gonna go and attempt to kill Sasuke, right? That's a thing she thought about doing. And I'm like, you know what, girl? Way to take it into your own hands. There's no way you can fight him, but you thought about it.
I appreciate the
I
effort when that
appreciate,
happened.
yeah,
I
I appreciate the effort.
actually no, hold up. I hate the way she went about it because she did the whole fake confessing a
Oh
love
yeah,
to
no, no, no,
Naruto.
no. I hate the way she went about it. I praise the effort for being like, you know what, somebody got to take him out, and it's got to be me because it's not gonna be Naruto,
Yes, I
right?
appreciate that. I do really wish though she actually stood a chance. Like she does a little fisticuffs action with between her and Sasuke.
Had that
That would
fight
have been cool.
played out and they just let it rock, she would have died because, of course, you're looking at it being like, well, Sasuke's not gonna die here. Him and Naruto ain't had
Oh
their
no,
beef,
I
right? So you're
agree.
looking at
I
it going
agree.
like,
But I'm saying
damn, is
like
that a
let us see
character?
something. Let us see her
Yeah,
try. Like they have her let that sink in even more than what it has. Like, oh yeah, I am very much outscaled by these two people, not just that little what is it? She she turned her back like either immediately or after she was told to kill Karin, I think it was, right?
hmm
Uh
yeah,
and she didn't give a chance to even try and do anything. Sasuke was already on her to kill her
yeah.
like immediately, but then Kakashi came up and stopped
Yeah,
her.
had Kakashi and Naruto
Uh,
not pulled up, I'm like, that's a dead character.
yeah.
That is what's happening a little bit with Tyrus in situations where it's like, well, you're not gonna like. He's basically has protagonist energy, considering the fact that like he's the main antagonist and he's not gonna lose here, but because he
hmm
has the ability to journey forth and he's not sitting in one location or like the two aren't best way I can describe this is the two aren't actively looking for each other. Like Tyro specifically seems to be actively looking for Nog, but he doesn't have to. He's just angry at the world, considering the
hmm
stuff that happens in it. He has no reason to actually go looking for him, right? But something tells him he needs to go, right? Essentially.
hmm
Um, whereas Nog is not actively looking for Tyros at all. His goal has nothing to do with him, but you know for a fact that these two have to come to blows again because their paths are set, they're parallels to each other. And so
hmm
where Nog is the one that lets go, right? He allows things to like there's obviously beef because of certain things that happen. But like Nog is still a person that will be like, I have to move forward and look towards like the future, right? He's a futurist by
hmm
default. Um Tyros is stuck in the past and he's so filled with hatred because the big thing about this is that there's like racism against monsters.
hmm
The humans don't think that monsters actually have feelings and things like that. Like they think that they're genuinely monsters. Like surprise, surprise. But like that's the idea, right? So they're treated less than. They're not seen as like people. But like even the
hmm
monsters are starting to see like yeah, we have a bunch of different cultures and stuff like that, but we are still people. And it's like humans are the only ones that kind of don't get it, or sort of. Some humans get it, basically because of some of the things that Nog and stuff happen, right? And
hmm
so some people get it, some people don't. Tyros is definitely on that situation of doesn't get it. And in fact, when given the information, he doesn't know what to do with it. In fact, he just becomes more hateful because he just thinks that like this was all done in spite of everything. Like the idea of like these monsters being intelligent creatures that know what they're doing and know how they're doing it is like, oh, then you all must be filled with malice and have to go. That being said, the reason why I say he's on that level is because like the further we get into this story, the more this man does to the people you give a shit about in general. That doesn't have to be directly Nog, because he already started. All I'm saying is, whatever happens, and I'm not gonna spoil, puts him way on that list where you're like, you need to catch a fade. You're like, there's no way you don't get to catch another fade. And then he does something else post. There's a slight time skip. Post time skip that you're like, nah, you have to. Like, like, you're fucked up for that. Everything about what you did is fucked up. And what makes it and it's not like these things are happening in the background. Like there are genuine chapters dedicated to him doing this thing that from his perspective seems like this thing he has to do. But like you knowing, obviously you as the reader knowing what he's doing and where he's going and what he's fucking up, you're like, oh, this motherfucker's, there's no saving him.
Like he's going down that rabbit hole
There's no
fast.
saving him, bro. Because he's reaching points where you're like, bro, maybe the message should start clicking now, shouldn't it? Maybe it's not clicking. He's not getting
It's
it.
not clicking.
It's not happening, bro. And so obviously you're seeing stuff and you're like, this nigga's gonna have to die at some point, but it's not gonna be anytime soon. Which is why when I get to the recent chapters and he's fighting people like I genuinely care about, I'm like other characters that have like shown up and been like fun additions to the cast. I'm like, oh no, man. Oh,
There's a problem
oh,
with this. No.
oh no, bro. Like like right now, there's currently a prison break, right? I won't divulge into details, but currently there's a prison break, and Nog is in the lead of that prison break. Something tells Tyros that he and his gang of like OP other people that they need to pull up to this place, only to find that there is a prison break, right? So obviously,
Mm-hmm.
um, they're given the order to protect the nobles that are there at this prison to be like, hey, look, don't even worry about the monsters. We don't give a fuck, right? But like these people need protecting, and Tyrus is already gone. He doesn't even give a fuck about the objective. So it's like, because he locks in so quick. He's like, oh, there's a prison break here. It must be that nigga. I'm on my way. I'm like,
He locked in
he locked
immediately.
in immediately, and I'm like, mm. And so obviously after spending like an a big, quite a big arc actually, a lengthy arc that talks about a lot of characters in this, and we're walking up to characters that we've seen from before that we feel bad for. We understand their backstories, we understand what's happening with them, we understand why they're doing what they're doing, and understand motivations, and we care. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we're watching. One of them starts to get cooked by Tyros, and I'm like, not like this. And then they started jumping, right? So now we have two
Yeah.
characters. Now we have two characters in danger that I care about. And I'm like, damn, they're jumping Tyros, and that nigga's gonna kill one of them, bro. There's no way. Now they have a chance though. I feel it because at the same time, much like with the Naruto Sasuke situation, right? Um, much like with Vagabond, right? In that situation, um,
Mm-hmm.
Tyros is growing. So where Naga gets stronger, Tyros gets stronger. Much like with Naruto getting stronger, Sasuke always got something, right? So they're both
Mm-hmm.
getting strong. So the idea is that every time one of these two gets into a fight, they're gonna get better. Which then makes me go like, you cannot be fighting characters I care about right now, bro, because you're
It's
gonna
like
do the protagonist thing, and I
it's like
don't
My
want it.
Hero,
Yeah,
Shigaraki
My Hero
and Deku
Shigaraki does the same
almost.
thing, right? Where like every time Deku finds out a little bit more, Shigaraki's like, nah, I'm more in me as a villain. Like he's discovering what kind of villain he wants to be as time goes on.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, ah. Now Tyros isn't exactly discovering what kind of villain. He's already there. That nigga's just a problem. He's the worst
Yeah.
kind of villain because he thinks he's the hero, and everybody around him is like, I don't think you get it, bro. But he thinks he's doing the right thing, and that's what makes it the worst. It's because you're like, oh, dude, he just doesn't see it. He can't. But
He is blinded.
like always, man, I gotta
Those are
recommend it.
always those are one. I'd say it's one of the worst circumstances is when you're blinded to be the hero. Isn't that's the same trope that Griffiths
Griffith technically
has,
has
right?
two. Yeah, he believes that he has to be the hero. He has to be important, and it's not even that like because there's so much more that goes into like Griffith and why he does what he does. Because like
Mm-hmm.
obviously there's like the idea that he can't be nobody, and that the reason why he even takes it in the first place is because he's recovering off of being the person that saved everyone to being the person that needs to be saved, and he can't do anything. And then he's looking at obviously Guts, right? And he's like,
And
and
Casca as
Casca, and
well,
that
and
shit pisses him off because he's like, I'm supposed to be the one, right? Like, and
mm-hmm.
now I'm useless. I can't, like, I'm being the burden, and that's like something he couldn't deal with unless he breaks, right? That's a whole psychic break for him. But like, yeah, a part of Griffith needs to be the one that's important. But it's less through neuropathy and more so through the idea that like his persona just can't handle being less than. It just can't.
Mm-hmm.
He can't handle being less than. He's done everything he could to make sure he's not. Like he's done everything he could to make sure he's not less than. Um, Whereas like Tyros, that's why I'm saying like Tyros doesn't have that level of depth because I mean obviously Griffiths is literally one of the greatest villains of all time. He's one of the guys,
Mm-hmm.
right? But Tyros has the potential to be one of them. And I'm not trying to hype him
Yeah.
up. I was reading, bro. I
The
was reading
villain
it
that
in the
thinks
car, and
he's
I was
the
like,
hero.
"Fuck this nigga."
Mm-hmm. The villain that thinks he's the hero, and uh, the villain that is like strategic in his planning,
Mm.
and like he knows what's going on and everything. Those are the two that are like, damn,
Those are
those
some
are
of
the
your
problems.
favorite. The villain that's right is always a fun one. Where it's like
Yeah, that
that
one
one's
too.
always a
That
fun
one
one.
as
Where it's
well.
like genuinely, it's like nah, everything about what you're saying is correct, but like you have to be stopped though. Like, we can't just
Like, damn,
let
this
you
is
do
sound
that.
logic.
Yeah, it's like damn, this nigga making sense, but we can't let him win, right?
That's mass genocide, though. Wait a second.
Like I'll bring up another one. There's a villain in Wakafu, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
that's really good. It's like the time doctor, right? So the deal with him is that they're constantly stopping him from doing things, right? Because he's using time manipulation, things like that, to fuck up like the world. Essentially, he's doing some
Mm-hmm.
heinous shit and everything like that. But the way he's going about it, he's like, bro, if you guys just stop getting in my way, if you guys just stop, I can fix everything. You don't understand. If you just let me do what I have to do, I can undo everything afterwards. Like it's fine. Like I can destroy as many places I need to. I can do whatever I need to do to get where I need to be because once I finish what I'm doing, I can save everyone basically. I can just undo any of the heinous shit that I did the entire time. And everybody's like, "Bro, that doesn't mean that you can just do heinous shit though." Well, like it's
Because you have the power to do heinous shit doesn't mean that you should do heinous
but
shit.
like he has a point though, because it's like, yeah, nah, he's doing heinous shit. But does it matter if you get to hit the undo button afterwards? It's like it never happened, right? And so it's just like,
I mean, that's a hit to the
yeah,
psychological
it's
brain right there.
it's
That's what
like
I
it
say.
never happened. And he's like, bro, if you just let me just win, let me win, damn it. You let me win, I can fix it all. Like we don't have to worry about shit. And they're just like, nah. He's like, bro, if this town gets exploded, who cares? I can undo it. I was like, I'm not about to let you explode the town, though. Why would I do that?
There should be a moment like, look, watch. Let me just show you. He sets off a nuke, blows it up. It's like, what the fuck? Wait a minute. Undoes it. Look, see, everything's fine. They're back to normal.
But he's like genuinely in this belief that it's like, if I can just get my goal done, I can undo everything. Like it's all the ends justify the means. It's okay. It will be as if nothing happened as long as I get what I wanted. And I'm like, that's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good villain.
That's like, well, I say a bad version of that villain would be Thanos, MCU Thanos, that is, for the ends justify the means.
So here's the
For
worst part about Thanos is that the holes keep getting poked in his logic the more you think about what he's doing,
hmm
right? And it sucks because to me, as much as I like that movie's good, right? As Thanos is not that, right? And I get it that they were trying to make him more like relatable or whatever, but Thanos is a comic book villain, and like not even in the way of like because yes, he's a comic book villain, but he's like interesting because he's like that much of a problem. Dude's doing it for love, for the love of Mistress Death, and that's all he wants. He's like, yo, if I blink half the life in existence out, she's gonna notice me because I'm that guy. And I'm like, fair, fair. And like you can make the argument it's like, oh yeah, nah, technically he's being a simp, but like also like Thanos is doing it to impress Mistress Death. But does that matter? Because like, I mean, it does. but he'd do it just because he could do it. Like, there's so much stuff that Thanos just does because he could do it.
Yeah, I remember there was like a whole comic book, not a comic book line, but like a video where Thanos bullied the shit out of a person just because he did something or said something wrong. Well, I think that's what it
Yeah, I know what you're
was.
talking about. I don't remember what the exact thing is, but he just picks this day to pull up on this dude's birthday every time, and he's just like, just fucks him up, like makes his life a living hell every time, just for his birthday. He's like, eh. And I'm like, wow, that's fucking evil, dog. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, that is what he is. He is just evil, and like he could have been one of the coolest MCU villains. Him and Ultron are kind of squandered a little bit, right?
Hmm.
Because Ultron is an unthinking, unfeeling machine that is going off of pure logic and feels what he feels, right? And so, like, obviously, that's what he's supposed to be. Instead, they made him like a jokey, kind of half Tony Stark thing going on, and I'm like, that shit's lame. That's not
Yeah.
Ultron. So, like, that one sucks. Thanos is supposed to be evil for evil's sake, and that's still one of my favorite villains. Like, evil villains that enjoy being evil. As much as like the Joker is really interesting, I find the Joker interesting and fun. Um, he gets a little old because I get it, right? And
His antics and everything. Yeah, I
but the
understand that.
idea of like, oh, dude, I just do this just because.
Oh, it's the whole Jack Horner thing. Shit.
Yeah, Jack Horner's hilarious, bro.
Jack Horner was fantastic.
Fantastic villain. But the reason why he works in that movie is because you have so many different villains in that movie,
Hmm.
right? And like,
Yeah, the antagonist technically, or the
yeah, you have like a force of nature, which is death, right,
force
running
of
around.
nature. That's what it
So
was.
you have force of nature, then you have like
The sympathetic
the
villain,
sympathetic villain, which was, who was that
and
again?
then the villain.
And then you just have Jack Horner, and you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the the three bears are the sympathetic villains, where like they have good reason for doing what they're doing. It's just, you can understand their reasonings essentially,
Hmm.
and because all three of those archetypes exist in the same movie, they all get to play off each other, and none of them overstay their welcome. Um,
No.
in a villain that is just evil for the sake of being evil, um, you can do some fun stuff, like just genuinely having Thanos just be a problem. You can act like a force of nature in many cases, because he constantly is talking about how he's inevitable. And obviously, with everything that plays out, where he has an entire army and they're invading, like that all can still play out. I just feel like when they go to be like, why is he doing this? It's just like, oh, dude, it's simple. He saw Mistress Death. He was possessed and locked eyes with that. And you don't even have to make it like a female death, right? Like you don't even have to do that. It's just the idea of death fascinated him. And it's something he became intensely enthralled with, and thus he has made it his mission to eliminate half the life in all the universe. And so, like, it might seem kind of crazy, but like, you can have him talk about it or whatever. I mean, like, nah, it's like it's just this ultimate feeling. Like, just have to, you can have him wax poetically about how good it feels to actually, like, like kill people. just genuinely, he was like, yeah, this just feels nice. Or it could be something as simple as like, bro, y'all are my playthings. Like, it's not even me like pretending to be God. Like, I am a god. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, I am that nigga. And I'm like, yeah, no,
I
he
think the
is.
idea of him being enthralled with death sounds a lot better than in love, like the female version,
Oh
I should
yeah, like if
say,
you
if
wanted
they
to,
threw it into the MCU.
yeah, if you wanted to really like ground him, the idea would be to have him be enthralled with the idea of death, and thus he's just like, it's fascinating, and he wants to leave an impact of that scale to be responsible for that much casualty. And so the idea
I
is,
wouldn't even.
and the idea would be like, why not all of life? It was like, well, because then there's no one to remember you by, right? I want there to be enough that I don't. He wants there to be enough to that you guys can continue to live on and remember that what he did, as opposed to, yeah, no, you guys can't recover. It's all over. Like, what's the point? And that could be interesting in its own right, just because of the fact that it's
Oh,
like as a
absolutely.
thing.
The what was the perspective that I thought of just a moment ago? It wasn't more on the factor of the fact that people don't remember, it's more on the factor of he just wants the sensation.
Yeah.
Like maybe in this past that he experienced a near death experience that set him on that course. Like he was at the brink and then he came back to life and he thought that was exhilarating. He got rock hard because of that little moment. And so because of that, he wanted to experience something just as good or even better. So he thought of, okay, annihilating half the universe and being able to see all that happen is just
He could be a crazy
chef's
death
kiss
cult
to
later
him.
where it's like maybe he got close, but because he's immortal, right? He couldn't die.
Mm-hmm.
But he got there. So he's like, oh, dude, I saw what was on the other side. And like, I just need to share that with everyone else, right? Like, he has to do. Like, what he saw was death, and that enthralled him, like we said. Like, it ensnared him and made him like this. But it's just like, he's just
Mm-hmm.
like, this needs to be shared with as many people as possible. But at the same time, an understanding that like either he feels like not everyone is worthy of that, or like life must exist for death to be like fascinating. Like
A
I
thing,
can't
a
kill
concept.
everything
Yeah.
because then there's nothing to appreciate death. like, and like that could easily be the reason why he's just like, I have.
That could also be why the whole dusting thing happened, because it was a poetic way to go, almost like a symphony, just like
Yeah. But like
mm,
that's just us thinking about it and
mm.
being like, we cook, cook everyone to do this. That being said, that movie is still really good. I mean, it has so many moving parts that it manages to make work that you just
It
wouldn't
does,
think it
yes.
would, right? But my biggest
Mm-hmm.
thing is just like, yeah, no, Thanos' motivation is a little weird, but like villains are cool. You can get some really cool ideas for villains.
Absolutely.
Sometimes sometimes just evil being for the sake of evil is really good, but sometimes
Oh,
having that one that's
and
just like the villain is another protagonist is just also, or better yet, I should say the antagonist is just another protagonist is also just as good.
anti-villains. Anti-villains is another good one.
Anti-villains
That,
are
that's
also
what it
pretty
was.
interesting. I like anti-villains.
Mm-hmm.
I do good things. Actually, now that I think about it, Tyros is an anti-villain. Because, like, as far as he's concerned, he's doing heroic deeds. He's fighting monsters. He's killing monsters. What could be
Yeah,
possibly
that would
bad
actually be
about
the
killing
technicality that he would
monsters?
be.
Except he's horrifying. Like the things that he's doing to these people are like, it's not like he's not like he's torturing them, right? But like he's
Mm-hmm.
slaughtering them by like the dozens, and you're like, bro, those are people. like because our main character is also a monster, you're like, dog, there's like those are people. Like they have hopes and dreams and families, and you are killing them like casually. And for some reason, you refuse to see them as such, despite the fact of having everything presented to you. They're like, yeah, no, maybe, you are the same. Maybe you are the same. the
We
thing
bleed the same. How can you not understand?
the thing that he sees in his head that monsters are, he is that. And I'm like, but to them, right? And it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the same thing, dog. Like, it's crazy how that works. But yeah, that's pretty sick. I'm just go check out Just a Goblin. I've waxed poetically about it enough. I've definitely talked about it being like, hey,
Yeah,
go watch that one.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
You're gonna get to the part.
I keep saying that, but I'm like, okay, yeah, this is actually gonna be a thing.
Yeah, you're gonna get to the part, and you're probably gonna hit me back up and be like, "Yo, fuck Tyros." I'm like, "Yeah."
Oh no, I very much guarantee that I'm going to be talking about this during the podcast, and then we will have a whole like hour rant on the podcast. I'm doing that.
She's up. Tyros is up there with Rachel. I'll say that right now. Never forget to fuck Rachel, bro. I'll never forget. Rachel is another one I thought about. I'm like, yo, I just rethought about it. I was like, you know what? Fuck Rachel.
Oh my god, Rachel's a. Oh my god,
Rachel's a bitch, bro. Fuck Rachel. For those that don't
Uh,
know, I'll just say "fuck Rachel" is from Tower of God, and if you don't remember everybody saying "fuck Rachel" at that time, it's okay. You should probably just go watch Tower of God and figure that one out.
it's a good series. Season 1 is great. Season 2,
I don't even think it's bad. It's just covering slower material, from what I understand. I've watched like enough of it to
it
understand it. Like,
I guess it's more on the factor for me is just the animation wise. I see so many things. I'm just like, oh, well, why is this happening with this?
nah, but fuck
But
Rachel,
that's
bro.
just me.
That's
Some other people might be like, oh yeah, this is pretty good.
it's not that bad. I've seen this.
I've seen Seven Deadly Frames.
Yeah,
It's not.
that's how I feel about it. I've for sure seen worse by a landslide. Like that one's
And
not that
ever
bad.
what is it? Ever since Seven Deadly Sins season 3 came out, I've been noticing like details in like animation and such very detailedly. It's a pain in the ass now, but I just been noticing
The episode
it.
of Invincible that genuinely talks about like that just meta breaks and just talks about like things that animators will do to save budget. Although I already kind of knew it, it now rings hard in my head whenever they're doing it. Like I just forever see it now. Like because like I already knew. So like for instance when they're like yeah if a character's talking and they're not facing that was to, like they're not facing the camera, that's to save budget. If they're having someone do like a lot of like mental dialogue, saves time because they don't have to move, they just have to think, they have to be in a pose for thinking, right? Now the way you know that they have budget is if they're doing something like that, like they're having like dialogue but like something is a lot of stuff is moving while they're thinking.
Yeah.
So if it's like their hair
It's
is
not just a
moving, yeah,
still
it's
image in a black
yeah,
room.
or like they're just their hair, right, or something like one
Yeah.
thing. If it's like, nah, they are like moving. Nah, they got budget. While thinking, they got budget.
It is the whole action scene while a whole monologue's going on. That's also budget.
They'll also do panning shots with dialogue, where like no one's moving in it. That's another one to save budget. I'm like,
That is, yes.
but there's just stuff like that I'm like, damn, they shouldn't have said that because now I see it anytime it pops up.
Now everyone knows.
Now everyone
Everyone
knows.
knows.
But what about you, bro? What else have you been reading? I'm assuming you've been reading something else.
So I will say this since I've watched it now, Invisible Fight Girl.
Oh yeah, you actually have caught up completely, right?
Yeah, I've caught out completely now, and it is great. It is a great little
Time to go on another rant about Invincible Fight Girl.
inspired Western anime inspired series.
Invincible Fight Girl is sick. I'm so glad it exists. I'm so glad it exists. It is for sure made. It wears its inspiration on its sleeve, hella hard.
It does. It very much does.
Dragon Ball sounds can be directly heard in it when fighting off rib.
I know. It takes me out of the fight a little bit, to be honest.
They hit you with the hockey though.
They did,
Conker's
yes.
hockey
They
is
very
definitely
much
just
did.
clearly there. Also, we could tell how much like love is in this show because while we were watching it, especially going back the second and third time, so many frames just have references to like everything that they enjoy. Right? Like
Cowboy Bebop.
the Cowboy Bebop one's super fun. Cowboy Bebop, Street Fighter, like Naruto was in there. I'm pretty sure. Like I remember seeing that one.
we said the Infinity Gauntlet was in there too, wasn't it?
No, not the
Or
Infinity
was it,
Gauntlet. Tekken, because it had Tifa's glove
Tekken.
and it had
Yeah.
damn, what is his name? Jin. It had Jin's glove.
Jin's glove.
Jin's glove was in there. The Omnitrix was also in there. I saw that and I was like, oh, okay. There's like they just have references to a bunch of stuff. Just characters will just be around. There was a Zangief for sure. Just vibing. I was like, I see that. I see him. There's a bunch of stuff. It was just fun. But
it really was.
if you can, while watching it, take the time and like pause and look at stuff. Like the Dovahkiin's in there.
Yeah, he is. I forgot.
He's just vibing. Take the time to just pause at frames when they're like doing panning shots and things like that, and you'll just see like a bunch of references to a bunch of things just casually in the background and stuff.
Now, I will say like the little nitpicks, not because the show's bad or anything. I just like noticing. For one, as I said, the Dragon Ball sound effects. Those, as I said, kind of put me off a bit at times.
Mm.
And it's cool. It sounds nice at moments, but the way that the strikes or what they're doing, I'm just like, I don't think that should be striking like that.
Nah, they wanted to sound
At
like that,
those
bro. They were.
moments.
You're like not that one.
Another one was when what was her name?
Andy? Are you talking about the main
Andy.
character? Yeah,
When she
Andy.
was eating in the first episode, that seemed way too fluent.
It just went too well. You're like, wait a minute.
It went too well. It was like, damn,
Why is that
it's
so?
no mess. It doesn't seem natural. Like, what the fuck? Like, I know, like it's very much the anime speed eating. I gotta go. Oh my god,
Yeah, but it's like too good.
quick eating and everything like
They
that.
just-
But I'm looking at it. I'm like, that doesn't seem right.
Something's wrong about this.
What's wrong
They
about
put
that?
too much budget into trying to do that. Like, you needed less budget there.
Yes.
But like, yeah, no,
And
I agree. There's so I mean, I think the Dragon Ball sound effects are fun, but like, I don't know, it's different. There's also just fun stuff about the idea that like, Invincible Fight Girl is just ultimate muscle.
yes,
it
that's
kind
also
of
a
like
little fun thing.
is just ultimate
And the
muscle.
fact that the ultimate muscle, although it's weird,
Ultimate muscle,
but you know, a bit more like there because like, oh yeah, there's a ring everywhere. We can do stuff on it. Nah, in this fucking world, everything comes from a satellite that's shot down like a missile.
Oh, dude, they have so many satellites ready. If someone says they want a match, they get a match right now. Says nuke.
Even if you have rings, even if you have a ring,
they did
right
have
there.
a ring. They walked out and got another. But sometimes the art in this just goes really hard.
Oh, it does.
There's
It
just some
very
stuff
much
that's
does.
like really, really
Because what was it? The episode with the fucking finger and toe people.
good.
Them.
I like the
And they
the
had that
post up
whole,
shot
like,
for
Broly-
M. Brandon.
the
That was a good
lady
one.
with the
M. Brandon.
the Broly Hulk out. That was a good fight.
Mm.
That was a great moment. And I just thought of another thing. Their monologues felt off for some reason.
I get it.
Like I don't know what about them, but they're like they seem either too long or too entwined with everything to be in the show. It should have been like a longer episode because it's at least like 15 minutes, 30 minutes.
They're definitely doing the anime thing of like the in your head thinking strategy stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, because it's trying to because it's not an anime, your brain kind of goes like, I feel the emulation. Like you feel it. You feel it. As opposed to like when you're watching it in normal anime, it's just kind of like, it just happens, right? For some reason in this show, it's I'm not even gonna lie, I felt it too. Like they're going through the dialogue in their head, and I'm like, it feels forced a little bit because you're like, yeah, no, they're definitely doing the anime thing for that one, but like at the same time, it's just like,
it's a thing, but as you said, it feels forced, and I also think that the way that how anime does it, the scenes when they do so kind of flow well within it. Even though I think it's probably because we just grew up with it.
yeah.
But the way that they do it in Invincible Fight
They're probably
Girl,
just
it just seems
better. Yeah,
like,
they're probably just straight up just better at doing it because it's a definitive formula over there. Whereas like over here, it's like, oh, we're trying to mimic that, but we don't have the same level of. They don't have the beats. They don't understand like how long like a thought should last. Like how many beats should a thought last. There's definitely some thoughts that got like have a full explanation to it. Like if we go back and look at Naruto, some of that stuff probably matches up. Honestly.
Oh yeah,
with the same level of time and everything like that, but something just feels off. I'll agree. Something feels off when it does it.
But aside from those little things, and you're not a fucking weeb like me, it's fantastic.
It's pretty sick.
It's a great show.
Highly recommend Invincible Fight Girl. High recommend.
Aside from that, another thing I've been reading recently came out. It's called Writer's Legacy.
Okay.
This one, This one, essentially in the past, humanity came across this printer that allowed books to have power, essentially. And the more that people read this said book, the more power you get off of it.
Okay.
So, because of this case, there are now people called authors or writers that publish their own books to go onto the rankings and become the stronger people. And as I said, depending on people how many people read it, the stronger you are.
Okay.
So if you only have like 1,000 people reading your book versus someone who's reading like Kishimoto, like millions of people reading his Naruto series, you got a lot of power on your hands.
You're built different. Cause
Yeah, very much built different.
Get it?
And the powers also coincide with how your book is written as well. So if you have Alice in Wonderland, you get, spade, queen, so on and so forth, the rabbits.
Interesting.
If you put it into real life right now, One Piece, probably devil fruits. Oda would
I would
probably be
probably
Gum
just straight up have a double
or
fruit, yeah.
or hockey, yeah. And I forget our protagonist's name because I'm going off the top of my head. But he is an upcoming writer, and he is bottom of the barrel. Sung Jinwoo status, rank E, rank F, and he is doing his best to get up there and write his own story. But he has his struggles,
It happens.
and that's it. That's all I'm going to say about it. Because the main concept that really gets me is the fact that it's the power system in this really hooked me on it. So
It does sound like a cool
check
power
it out.
system, not in front.
Yeah, check it out if you want to. There's only 4 or 7 chapters in it.
Okay. Oh yeah, with that little, no, you just kind of gotta go into it.
Yeah, no, just do it.
I agree with that one. That's fair.
And
what is it called again, real quick?
Writer's Legacy.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that one out for sure.
And the last thing I'll talk about, which would be gaming wise, actually no, two things gaming wise. I've gotten back into 30XX, which you know about this, but when I got back on there, all of my save data was like reset back to before I did all the big stuff I did and grinding and such. So I have to redo all of it.
Yeah.
I don't want to redo all of it. So I figured out how to get it back. And funny enough, it showed via on Steam, mentioned by the developers, of the person who did it, saying, "Hey, this is not for my situation. This is for someone else's situation who's similar to it." But they found their save data. They said, "Hey, we haven't seen any problems like this before, but yes, you would have to use a cheat engine to re-get everything back, possibly."
Okay.
So I'm like, bet I'm a cheat engine this.
Give me my cheat engine.
So I'm not like doing anything like drastic or anything. I just got my second currency, which just allows me to reroll items and such, and sped through levels and did like boss rushes to get certain things back, and then I'll just regain everything naturally afterwards.
Okay.
So I'm not going to like break the system.
You just want to get back to where you were, so you can continue where what you
essentially.
Doing. Yeah, it makes sense. I wouldn't even blame you for that. So yeah, no, I'm just gonna. I did the same thing with Xenoverse 2. In Xenoverse 2, when I got it on PC, I was like, bro, I have hundreds of hours on Xenoverse 2 on the console, bro. I am not doing that again. So I went and got a cheat engine and I was like, let me just go ahead and get everything I had back. And then maybe something I got like cheated for. And then that's about it.
No, I agree. Yeah. When it comes to something that circumstance, like how with me and World, cheat the fuck out of it if you know what you've done. If you want to catch up to your friends, do that. Unless it's like an online game, then you're kind of screwed. You're gonna get banned.
Yeah, World is one of those ones where I was like, bro, I do not feel like doing that again. I just don't.
For World, I don't think there's really like a cheat you can really do that, but any mods, there's a mod where you can, for one, skip cutscenes, which is fantastic,
That probably
and
helps.
a mod that basically makes the iron weapons, the very beginning weapons that you get, do a
Buku damage.
shit ton of damage.
Okay.
I mean, like it's higher damage than what they show on those little YouTube showcases of what's the highest damage in Monster Hunter World
Mm-hmm.
or something that variety.
He's like, yo, you do a lot of damage per basic combo. Which is fair.
And
That
now
would
you're
help you
not like
speed run. That would help you speed run through it. Catch back up.
you're not like one shotting them because
Yeah.
you can still because the way that the mod was made is that so you can still like get broken parts and everything.
Mm.
But on average, 2, 3, 4 hits, that thing's dead.
It's like good for grinding. Yeah. Like if you were like, bro, I
um,
just need this one part and I don't feel like having to run a full fight with like Tigrex 30, 40,
mhm,
50 times, right? You're just like, nah, I just
mhm.
need to beat this thing up real quick, get my stuff, and then continue about my day.
Yes, and I've also decided to mod Rise as well. Uh, to alleviate some of the grind, since there's a lot there in Rise. I think Rise actually has a lot more grinding in than World personally,
Okay,
especially the anomalies.
that's true.
Um, so just to alleviate that a bit, and then I just threw in a lot of sound effects as well. Whenever I get into a quest, I have Gambit's oh, I'm about to make my name for myself here.
Bruh,
Statement.
bruh, I hate you. It's so much.
It's the one time. It's every single time I go into a quest now. It's just that pops up and I just laugh.
It's fair.
And then and
Make
then
a
there's
name
like
for
an end
myself.
part when the quest is completed. I don't remember that line. It's like you're gonna remember him essentially.
Oh, damn it. Remember the name?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. That
And
one's so
then
funny.
another one is I made jokes about it whenever I'm doing longsword with the harvest moon. I think it's harvest moon.
Mhm.
Where I make that giant circle and I say domain expansion.
Oh, does it actually say that? Because that's stupid.
Now, yes, I have. I
Bruh.
think it's Gojo saying domain expansion whenever I do that now
I
in
hate you. I
Japanese.
hate you so much. You're such a fucking weeb, bro.
And then what's this one I'm sad about? But I have the Guilty Gear counter popping up whenever I do a counter now.
Oh, that's pretty great. Counter!
Counter, counter, counter. I originally was looking for the Ultra Instinct, just blip, just
Oh, when
duh,
you...
I wanted that, but no one has made a mod for it,
That's
which
crazy.
I am saddened by the mod community. How could you not?
You have disappointed me, mod
You
community.
have disappointed me
How could
drastically.
you?
That is the perfect thing for any counter.
Counter.
And then I think I might have added more things, but another one I think is Jotaro's a son of a bitch. Whenever I die, um,
Oh, that's funny.
uh, the nice sound effect where the guy like kind of like clicks his mouth, like clicks and then nice. That
Lord.
whenever I sharpen my weapon or
Mm.
just some little fun things to alleviate the grind. It just makes it stupid.
Nice.
I'm not trying to do anything else with it because of the fact that I don't want to fight Thomas the Tank Engine as Devil Joe.
Yeah, no,
The
I'm good.
hitbox would be so weird.
I'm good on that idea. It sounds awful. I've seen that. No.
Because they've also like people have decided like to mod in different characters from different games in there too, so you could play as like I don't know, Pyra from Xenoblade 2 or Raiden, someone else, or have their voice lines and such, which I think that would be annoying if all of a sudden they keep grunting or saying their iconic lines 24/7.
You know, that'd probably be kind of.
But yeah, that's all I'll say. I took the whole fucking hour. I'm so sorry.
No, we're good. You definitely didn't. Our biggest thing was probably just talking about villains, bro. You're good. You're fine. It's so easy for us to go into different rants about stuff. But nah,
It is. It's very easy for us.
for me, I'm trying to remember what else I was going through. Because I caught up on two things specifically. No, both of them are webtoons. I'm glad that you brought up Invisible Fight Girl though. Invisible Fight Girl is a good one. I did find out that Shotgun or Shogun was on hiatus though, and that made me sad because I was like, oh, I actually wanted to catch up on that too.
Mm.
Let me look. I don't see it. I definitely thought I caught up on two things. I did not. Caught up on one. Um, but yeah, we've been watching Squid Game season 2, so that's been crazy. Squid Games. Oh, and Gentry Chow versus the Underworld as well. That one's really fun. So Squid Games, it's Squid Games. It's the Death game. It's good. I'm not gonna say anything too much about that one. The less you know, the better. Um, and the more you know, I mean, the more you know. I mean, we're gonna say it's Squid Games. I think this season is a bit more complicated. Stuff is going on, and that's interesting and intriguing. But like, I don't want to get into it, and all of it can be spoilers. So yeah. Um, Gentry Chow is fun though, because that's on Netflix. It's about this Chinese. I believe she's Chinese. I believe she's Chinese. She lived in South Korea, then came back to Texas. She was born in Texas. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, Gentry Child figures out on her, not figures out, on her 16th birthday, she reawakens her flame powers, weird flame mystical powers, and is chased down by a Zanchi who's like, hey, yeah, um, your soul is supposed to belong to a Mogwai. Um, he's coming to kill you because he was promised to kill you today. Um, so Grandma has to pull up and go like, okay, look, here's the deal.
It's always the grandparents.
Like here's the deal. It was like, look, I made a deal with the Mogwai so they could come back on your 16th birthday to kill you. So that way it gave me time to figure out how to kill him. Before that, best shot we got is the powers that you hid away for a while. And she's like, hid away powers, not those. I don't want to use those. It's like, I mean, it's okay. It's been years. It's fine. It's like, yo, I almost burnt down the entire city. It's the reason I had to move when I first activated my powers. And it's like,
Oh.
good point. Good point. And Texas still remembers that. Much like a Telltale game, Texas remembers that.
That's funny.
Um,
Do they know that it's her?
they don't
Or
know
do
it's
they just
her.
know that...
Initially, and I don't want to spoil too much about the show, but like initially, I thought this was gonna be much like a Juniper Lee type show where we're gonna be dealing with this and nobody knows. We're gonna keep the secret identity thing going on. Very Spider-Man, very you know, that kind of vibes. Very Danny Phantom. Nah, everybody knows. You find out so fast, everybody knows, bro. There's like no,
Everybody
there's
knows.
like no. I wanted to keeping that a secret sounds like I should, but it like happens in like the third episode. Like, so I'm like, they don't even bother keeping it a secret, bro. I'm like, I mean, I guess. um, but it's pretty fun. I'm really enjoying it. I like its art style. I think it's cool. I think I'm only like me and Devon are watching. I think we're like 4 episodes in, 4 or 5 episodes
Mm-hmm.
in. So we're not super far. Um, we're learning little bits and pieces about Gendry's past and like what her parents were up to because they're dead. Because of course they are.
Oh, yeah, that typical. Typical.
It's like
Is
things
it?
like
Is this
that.
like a? Is this a drama or a anime?
It's an animated series,
Okay.
so much like Invincible Fight Girl, it's very similar. I don't. It's cute. It's got a really nice art style actually. Um, Fight scenes are well animated actually. A lot of the demons look really cool in this. Like I mentioned the Zanchi earlier. The Zanchi has like a transformation. It's like, yeah, no, that would be terrifying. And I really like the way that they depict the demons in this. Um,
Mm-hmm.
all the monsters, like, the story is told through a lens that is funny, poppy, cheery. There's like K-pop or J-pop, both actually being played constantly throughout it. For like impact, genuinely. Um, but like when it comes to like certain elements, like how the demons are depicted, they make them niggas scary. Like they kind of switch to horror for a little bit, just to kind of depict the things she's fighting. And I'm like, yeah, yeah,
That's a good way of doing it.
that's scary.
That's what it should be, in my opinion.
Like there's a chase scene in I think like the second or third episode. I think it's the second episode. No, it's the third. Yeah, I think it's the second episode where she's being chased down by like these two demons that are essentially trying to just discover what opened up this portal, right? And
Mm-hmm.
like home dudes are like disappearing from like behind trucks. Like a truck will drive by and like they're there a second and gone the next second. Like the school lights are going out like on and off and flickering because there's like a spiritual presence there, and like
Mm-hmm.
they are like appearing closer and closer behind the character each time the liquor flight like goes off, and then like reappearing way in the back, and then the lights like extra flicker just so that they can reapproach hard. Like like it's like stuff that makes it go like, yeah, no, you know what, that's frightening. It gives the demons like this really otherworldly horror feeling that like kind of gives them the respect that these things are dangerous. Like you don't, she should
that
not be fighting these even with her powers. They're just, it's not a good
that
time.
that's a good thing to happen though. That
Mhm.
most series don't do that. They kind of just have demons either be, well, humanized and or scary, drawn scary, but never like shown to be scary in that way.
Yeah, no, they just do scary shit. And I'm like, I wouldn't want to mess with that either. Um, but they do some really cool stuff with it. I genuinely think that they're doing fun things, and I kind of am hoping to see more of both this show and Invincible Fight Girl being the main two. I'm like, yes, I need more of this.
Do
Like,
we know that Missile Fight Girl's having a season 2?
yeah, no, it's gonna get it.
It is okay.
It's gonna get it. It did well enough. It premiered on Adult Swim, and I know a bunch of people have been watching it. So, Invisible Fight Girl's probably gonna be season two. I don't think if there's anything else. I know I've been checking out other stuff, but I can't remember what it is right now. That's the craziest part.
Dokapon.
Oh, dude, Dokapon's been crazy.
It's been a blast.
So we've been playing Dokapon. We're gonna do a stream of Dokapon, not of the campaign, but we'll do like a little mini game with like a different group. Um, but we've been
Normal
playing.
mode,
But we
whatever.
decided to play the story mode of Dokapon. We said bump it. We're gonna do a campaign, so it's me, Devon, Pele, and Leon, and the vitriol is real. And it's not, none of it even involves Leon, to be honest. Like, Leon is over here about to become the Darkling, and he's just refusing villainy.
Yes. I am trying my best to be the good boy.
Just refusing it. Just
Everyone else,
like,
though,
mm,
is like demolishing each other, taking things from each other.
bro,
To be fair,
I
9 times out of 10, I get bodied.
you do
Like
get bodied.
when I try an
Most of the
adventure.
time, I'm chilling. Most of the time, I'm chilling, and Pele and fucking Devon want to just bully me sometimes. Dog, I came back last night because I just went to go get something to drink. And I came back and I was in a fight with Pele, and I was like, "It was your turn. Why are we in a fight right now? What you want to explain to me how we got here?"
His logic was to get rid of what he had, but it didn't work.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
He wasted his turns.
he also didn't explain to me what he wanted. Like if he wanted me to take something off of him, I could have took it off of him. But it's like it's not what he did. He just started a fight, and I'm like, okay.
He tried to kill you, and you're like, all right, I guess I gotta murder.
I also accidentally got in a fight with Devon in the beginning, and he set me back tremendously. And then he
I
just randomly
mean,
decided to kill me twice, and I was like, okay.
yes.
And then he got killed in a whole another incident, and that was good. that involved
Then
me.
you got your stuff back, fortunately.
I got one of my things back. Technically, I need to kill him again to get another one of my things back, but fine.
Yes, that is true. That is true. Isn't he still in the lead right now?
No, you are.
I'm in second, from my
Second.
knowledge.
And it's me. Because I jumped up. I remember jumping up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. The monsters kept taking your town.
And then that was happening, bro, where, like, every town I would get for, like, a little while, like, every new town would just get infected again by a monster, and then Pele was like, I'm gonna just go take this. And I'm like, bro, give me my fucking town back.
Pele or Devon, I've been unlucky in getting towns in general.
No, Devon has never actually taken a town that's been retaken by something, right? He's only taken towns that he's gotten originally, and the only town he took from me is when he killed me that second time. When I was like, I wanted my stuff back. I'm like, bro, why did you kill me? Put my stuff back. I went back to go get my revenge. He killed me again, and I'm like, bro. I'm just like, bro, come on, man. And I'm not doing anything to you, Lil, because obviously you're in the last place. But I also don't need more vitriol. But I also kind of want to do stuff to you, just because. Just like no beef happening to you. I don't get it. I'm like,
I'm just going around finding items.
I'm not doing much, but all the smoke is coming towards me. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, is anyone gonna get, like, I don't see Devon or Pele giving smoke to each other, and none of them are giving anything to you. No one is paying attention to you. I'm like, what the fuck?
I mean, I've been the one helping out, trying to give information and everything.
So fucking pissed. I don't know what to say, bro.
I expect next time you guys hear an update on Dokapon, I will probably get into a fight. Actually, I did get into a fight, but it was on accident because I had to help out someone.
Oh, you jumped in the fight with Pele, right?
I did, yes, because he was in a loop.
Didn't you just say escape? Or did you actually fight him?
Oh, I fight him. Because he couldn't do anything.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So you just ended up, like, taking him out real quick.
But I was trying to, like, give him something. But the give was, like, a prank. So I'm like, damn, okay, I'll just forgive him.
Like, I think it has to be a bad item. Oh, yeah, because you could have given him the bug or something. Shit's ass.
Or whatever it was.
What was it, the black bug? Or like the abyss bug or whatever?
The black bug was the one that eats all your items.
Yeah,
but
I believe you can give that to someone else if you did that.
You can. But that was way long ago when I was trying to do the whole wabbit thing.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking about it in general. That also would have been bad if you actually got the wabbit. You were getting bodied by a singing rabbit. That's crazy.
That wabbit was. It loved you. It wanted.
I was about to say, how pissed were you when I walked up and beat it the first try?
But when I tried to do it, it was like, nah, I'm gone.
I just beat the shit out of that rabbit instantly. I was like, well, I guess I'm gone. I guess I have it now.
Even when I tried to progress the story, I kept getting bodied.
Sometimes things just don't
I think
want you to
I think that's the reason why no one really had beef with me, because every time I try to do something to progress or get
better,
you
were getting cooked. I
was getting cooked completely.
I'm like, dang. Right now we're in a new continent that I like teleported to first because we were like, who's gonna be the first one? And I just was like, random town, sure.
And you got there,
and I got around, bro. That's not even where I wanted to go. It's like, wow, like because I did it and I was like, oh wow, they really meant random town. I was scared too because I thought I was like locked in an area I actually couldn't get to yet. So I was like, am I gonna be stuck back here? It's just gonna be ass.
Yeah, because you went back to the castle to change your class. I did the same thing as well.
No,
you got lucky. I got teleported twice to the same exact town.
I got teleported twice to the exact places I needed to be. I was like, yep, back this way and back this way. Dokapon's gonna be fun. We'll see when we do it with a different group. That group's gonna be interesting. I wish we could increase the player count, but I also feel like turns would take forever. Like things would just go on for a while. But like,
I think the way that Dokapon's set up, they'd have to make a bigger map
true, because I was like, four
because
people running
there are only
around
so much
is
you can
not
do.
bad, but like 6 people running around would be crazy. We
Oh, it would be insane.
That shit would be hilarious.
Like you would have to have someone would have to become a Darkling if by that
Oh,
time
for
if there was
sure.
six.
Oh, without
110%.
question. Somebody's becoming a Darkling. It just happens to be you. Someone's gonna become a Darkling in our campaign for sure. Even if it's not you, it will be someone.
And no, it will be someone.
Five
It's
bucks
not going
says
to be me.
Pele.
I'm gonna if I get to a shop, I'm gonna sell that contract immediately again.
$5 says Pele. $5.
He has been getting dogged recently.
Because I feel, yeah, no, I think it's gonna be Pele.
If things continue as I'm thinking it will be,
If
maybe.
now, if some miracle happens and Devon gets kicked down to last place, he'd probably do it too. But
I mean, he had a chance of doing that because he got negative money for a moment,
he did.
and he's
And
been
Payless
stuck
had
in that.
negative money for like multiple turns. Like
Mm-hmm,
he was in debt.
mm-hmm. He but Devon was still in that dungeon where I'm in, and he's gotten money back, but not enough.
We've been trying to get so many of those like special classes, and none of them. We've gotten almost none of them. You became a ninja,
Special
but like
classes, hidden items, which I found multiple of them from somehow.
we haven't gotten the wait. What? Oh yeah, the hidden treasure
Hidden
chest.
treasures, yeah. And
Because like
Devon found one too.
we haven't gotten the tickets.
Mm-hmm.
We got to go down there and find the lost piece of technology. I forgot what that one even gives you.
It gives you a new class, the Robo Knight.
Okay, that's how you get the Robo Knight.
Mm-hmm. You have to go underwater for that one.
Mm-hmm. And then I don't know what to do to get the other one, the Alchemist.
Alchemist, you have to level.
Because Leon did his research, so he figured everything out for that.
Yeah, for classes wise, but everything else I want to keep a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Wizard and Thief is what you need to do
Okay. Well, I already maxed out
for Alchemist.
Wizard, so we'll see.
Spellblade is warrior magic, but apparently Spellblade's also trash. So
Apparently, it's hot garbage. What is the problem with it?
um it doesn't I think it has like too little slots in general for what they can hold, and I think something else as well. I don't remember exactly what it is. I have to like double check the tier list that this person made saying why Spellblade's bad. Um but then there's Ninja, which I am now. And then you're a monk right now.
Punching stuff. I'm a punch boy.
Mm-hmm. Acrobat is the only one that's probably not going to be played.
I wanted Acrobat actually, but it's probably not gonna pop up.
That's a roulette you gotta do.
Yeah, I tried. I really did.
You really did. You had the money and you tried.
I'm trying to think of what else you're doing. Marvel Rivals obviously has been taking over the group predominantly, so that's been fun. The new
Yeah, it
season's
has
about to
been.
drop, so that's gonna be fun. This new season drops
Mm-hmm.
potentially now. Potentially
Should be
now.
interesting. It
As
should
of
be interesting.
recording. So season one
Oh, we
starts.
did Dalen Dawson, I think it was called.
Devin Dawson has been fun. That is basically Among Us, but you're an office worker and no killer. You just got to figure out who the slacker is. And
Oh, that one game.
that's the imposter. Yeah. And then we also played Lockdown Protocol. That was an interesting experience. We actually need to play Lockdown Protocol again. We're playing a lot of those. A lot of Among Us. Lockdown Protocol has very complicated tasks. Tasks are very like, wait, you gotta do what now? You gotta like go here to do this, to do that, and then come back. Now you don't have as many, thank goodness, but like multi level, multi tiered stepped process on those. So
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of fun. But both of those games were fun. Dalen Dawson and Lockdown Protocol. Super fun, super fun. Obviously, go check out Marvel Rebels. Marvel Rebels is sick. Um I guess I shouldn't skip over Marvel Rebels. So like, we'll probably mention the fact that like also they officially announced four fantastic characters. The Fantastic Four are coming. Um, they are going to be a part of season 1 with Blade potentially being another one and Ultron maybe being coming up later, but we're not sure exactly when they're going to appear. Um,
Do we know what each one's going to be for classes now, or
okay, so we know that Human Torch is a duelist. Um, Sue Storm
given
is a support. We
given?
let me see. I think Thing is obviously a Vanguard. Mr.
Yeah,
Fantastic, it's not clear if he's a Vanguard or a duelist. It's been kind of unclear. I think he's leaning closer to Vanguard because his kit seems like a Vanguard kit, genuinely, and I think he's leaning closer in general. But some data miners was like he's a duelist, and I'm like, how? But if he's a duelist, he's
this
a
man's going
duelist.
to be like Luffy throwing out the Gum Gum Gatling.
Yeah, honestly, probably. He's got like a big swole mode from the looks of it, which then emphasizes the fact that he's a tank even more. He kind of looks like he went into Bound Man. So that's gonna be fun.
You know, it'd be funny if they just referenced Boundman. All of a sudden, he puts in that stance and starts bouncing.
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
That's his alt, and he's just
So it's just he's just like that. Um, and then on top of that, we know that there's a patch coming up along with this that is we'll be getting. So Storm and Wolverine will be getting some form of rework slash buff to them. It's not clear what it's gonna be, but like there's gonna be some changes to their kits more than likely, or something is getting changed that'll make them better. Um, Venom and Captain America are getting movement buffs, so my guess is Venom's either gonna get a better walking speed or an extra swing. And
I think an extra swing's necessary for Venom mainly.
it feels like it,
Walking
right?
speed's fine.
He's just gonna get a little extra. He's gonna get one extra swing because he gets the swing to get in, and then he gets the swing to get out. And that seems
Mm-hmm.
fair. It makes him a little bit more effective because
That's why I was kind of curious whenever I tested him out. I was like, okay, I'm a swing in. I can't do it again. Like, what the fuck?
yeah, Spider-Man gets like 3 of them, and Venom
Yeah,
gets
on average, yeah.
one big swing, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
maybe get that man like one extra swing to leave.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, usually by the time you jump in, the biggest problem is like with Venom is that you'll go in, dive in, right, and you'll start fucking them up. But if the team is like coordinated, you do need to leave a lot sooner, and you don't have the
Mm-hmm.
ability to leave sooner. But usually, if you
Not as
dive
quickly
in,
as you want to be.
yeah, but on
Now, my question is:
average,
Is Captain America only a speed buff? Really?
yeah, he's that nigga's getting faster. He's running
Like
faster.
he's already quick as it is. I would imagine an attack buff would be
Yeah, no,
better.
they genuinely said he's getting a speed buff. He's getting a movement buff, actually, specifically. So I take it he's just gonna be that sprint is gonna be crazy now. Is,
Oh, absolutely.
is my
I'm
guess
gonna
is
have so
that
much
he's
fun.
gonna be gone.
I'm gonna have so much fun jumping into portals again.
Oh yeah, but yeah, no, he's gonna be dipping, and I'm gonna appreciate that a little bit. Um, and then people are getting nerfed straight up. Hella and Hawkeye are getting nerfed straight up.
That's understandable.
They didn't say what the nerfs are going to be, but they are getting nerfed. So bet, I guess.
I mean, there've been
they
so many
hurt. They
times.
hurt a
I
lot.
don't imagine Hella. At least for me, whenever I played, I don't play it that often. Um,
She's
but most
also a
definitely
sniper.
Hawkeye. I've seen Hawkeye snipe the fuck out of me
They hurt a
completely.
lot. They hurt like a lot, a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And like people, I'm assuming they're looking at them going like, we don't like that. We don't like that at all.
Are
Um,
they also planning to hit Psylocke?
Psylocke's fine. They're not doing anything to Psylocke.
Okay.
The people I've mentioned are specifically the ones that they're gonna be doing anything with. So, they didn't say anything about anybody else, which is a little sad because I still think Spider-Man needs a buff, and Psylocke might need a. Actually, Psylocke might be fine. She's. I feel like she gets her ult too fast. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how she gets her ult so fast, but like, I don't know. The same thing could be said about Jeff, though. I guess. But there's this time where Psylocke just is like, oh yeah, I busted out my ult, and then like I come back and I'm getting hit by like the same ult again, and I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Does your
How?
does your
How
ult
is this
yeah,
possible?
does your ult build up from you doing damage, or does it build up from you killing people? Because it feels like it builds up from her doing damage. She doesn't even have to kill anybody, and I'm like, okay, but I'm
I
not
mean, if
sure
that's
because
the case, that's kind
I
of
don't
wild
play
because she
Psylocke.
hits quick.
She does a lot of damage, so that's why I'm like, how do you get this back so fast? Every time, every time. But yeah, that one's always a fun one. Everyone else seems to be remaining the same. I definitely think Spider-Man's gonna need a damage buff because without that the 15% that he gets from seasonal things, it's gonna be rough out here for him. Not that he can't do stuff, but um
When you have a good Spider-Man player, most definitely, I've seen clips.
oh
They
yeah, but like the seasonal buff is he has the seasonal buff of like 15%. That 50% is gonna matter when he can't fight anymore.
hmm
And genuinely, I would have thought he would have had a 20% buff to his damage because he there's techniques to getting hits to getting kills with Spider-Man genuinely like that. But like I do feel like he needs like a slight rework on his kit. Just because of the fact that I'm like, yes, he's supposed to be one of the more complicated characters to play in the game. Doesn't mean that some of the stuff that you have to do with him isn't like not fun or whatever. Like for instance, I hate the fact that you have to punch people to get his webs back. You have to hit people to get his webs back.
Oh, you can't
But you,
just like
yeah, but you also need to
over
hit
time.
people. Yeah, you need to hit people with those webs in order to really get in there. And I'm like, the ability to just hit a button and reload his web shooters would be so nice. Especially since he can reload his web shooters in the comics. Like, that's a thing. Like, they are a reloadable resource he has on him. It's just like, nah. He gets it back over time when you punch people. And I'm like, what? What? But like, yeah. Because he gets like what, like 6, 7 shots, I think total. And then like you have to wait. Biggest problem with
hmm
Spider-Man right now is he has a lot of downtime. If you're if you're not doing perfect, he has a lot. If you're surviving but not doing perfect, he has a surprising amount of downtime before you can do anything. I would say he needs like either he needs the ability to reload his webs or a second pull. Like he has a thing where he like if he pops somebody with a web and he can use his E ability to pull, but that same his E ability actually is what it is. Um, you can either use it to pull yourself to enemies and kick them or pull enemies to you. It genuinely feels like he needs just one more of those because damn man, if you miss that, you're waiting for a while. If you do get it, you're still waiting for a while because you're gonna go leave. Like
hmm
you're not popping anybody else to hit somebody with that. It's just all right, cool. And that's like usually his starter to combos. It's either you can pull someone in and do an uppercut, and he gets 2 uppercuts, right? Or
I think so.
you can pull yourself and kick somebody and do an uppercut and then go on stuff like that from there. But without that pull, I mean, it's not that you can't do stuff, but it's way better and easier for you to do it like that than it would be for you to. It's like his main source of damage is one of the.
It's
It's like
it's his bread and
pop
butter.
pop.
That's
Yeah,
literally what I always see in Eastern clips. That's what I always see that people do to
it's
make
just
sure they
yeah,
can
it's his bread and butter,
secure the kill.
and his bread and butter is not available to you constantly.
hmm
You have like a lot of downtime where his bread and butter is just not there, and you're like, cool. Um, if you have the Venom symbiote, like that shit disappears for 30 seconds whenever you do it. So, but at least you get 2 bread and butters for that one. I'm like, that's fine.
hmm That's
But
actually the only other way you can really secure kills with that symbiote. Now I think about it.
you can do it because what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to, uh, best way, what I do because it's a lot harder to get the second, part of the original combo for me personally is you're supposed to do like 1-2 with the webs, and then you zip in, kick them, and then uppercut. And then the
hmm
thing you're supposed to follow up with is while they're in the air, you pop them with another web and then a punch, and that'll kill them. But it is sometimes difficult to hit people when you pop them up in the air to get that second one.
Mm-hmm.
On controller, you probably would have a lot more of a different experience trying to get that second hit, just because of the fact that like you move slower by default, and then on top of that, even if you did pop them up and track them down, regardless of whether or not you're on mouse or keyboard, they have the ability to move in the air. So like they could just not be there anymore if they need to be. Like within range of your punches. So it's like it just happens. And when that happens, I mean, you can try to track them down and you can try to recover it with like the overhead slam or something like that. And if you can do it, kudos. If you can't do it, it's time to leave because that dude's alive. Like, unless you can really like recover it, there's no point in sticking around anymore because they will turn on you. The element of surprise is gone. Which is why it's like, if you had like that second E or something like that, it'd be really nice because then you can either pull yourself again towards them or like pull them towards you and finish them off. But it'd be like that. It would just help his kid. But like I said,
I
Storm's
don't
gonna be
know.
a nice one though. I look forward to
I
Storm's
don't know if
buff.
it's. No, Stone needs a buff. Most definitely, she's
I
not
feel
doing enough.
I feel bad. I love Storm. If her rework is really really good, I'll probably pick up Storm because I wanna play her. I really
Mm-hmm.
do. I just didn't want to at the same time because I'm like I don't feel like dealing with snipers and like her kit just when I was messing with it just didn't seem super crazy. But if the rework gives her
It's
enough, I'm gonna be happy.
she
Same thing
is
with
she
Wolverine.
is she a duelist or a
She's a duelist. I think she belongs in support genuinely.
she belong if with her kit currently she belongs in support
Yeah.
because she amps damage when you're around people and then you can also speed up their people's movement
Mm-hmm. And then
as
she can
well.
change
So
it to Oh yeah, when you're in the speed up, it slows enemy movement too. So you get
mm-hmm.
speed up. So everyone in there gets speed boost. Any enemies in there get slowed. I don't know if it does the same. I know with damage, you can get hit. Is the deal while her lightning. Like she does the lightning,
Mm-hmm.
you're getting cooked.
Now
Um,
something like that I think should be something that you can like detach and put like a little dot around people if
that'd be
anything.
nice.
That would be a good idea because if you have to be in the center of where everything is, you're going to get targeted easily.
Oh well, the way it works is if you're just in that, like if you're an enemy in that circle, you're getting hit with her lightning
Oh no,
ability
yeah, I know
off rip.
that.
Like it
Like if
just.
you're in the circle, you'll get hit. But again, Storm has to be there at the same time. The Storm can't be somewhere else doing something else. The circle moves with her.
Oh yeah,
That's the
but the
thing.
circle's like really big. Not true. She doesn't really have anything that like if you leave the circle, like it still gets you.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I think her left click. I think it's her left click, which is her like big snipe ability that she has. Doesn't go that far. Um,
Mm-hmm.
which is crazy because I'm like, dude, it's a
And
chain
also,
lightning ability.
she
It's just
has to be with the party. That's the only way she really does anything. Is
oh
she
yeah,
has to
no,
be with
she
the
has to
party.
be. She has to be with the party. Which I mean makes sense because she's a leader, right? She's supposed to
Mm-hmm.
be with the party, but at the same time, it's like, bro,
When
you
you
are a
have
sitting
people like
duck
Scarlet
yeah,
Witch,
when you have like a
Psylocke,
Scarlet
and
Witch. Psylocke's not even that bad. Like Scarlet, because with Psylocke, she can leave. I mean, Psylocke can shoot pretty far and do damage, right? But like, she can just fly away. Psylocke's not touching her really. She can still hit her
mm-hmm.
with her like her little arrow things, but she can fly away. But someone like Scarlet Witch, you're not wrong. Like a Scarlet Witch or a Punisher or a Hela,
Yeah, you're gonna
just
get cooked on that one.
cooked. Or a Hawkeye or
Mm-hmm.
or a Black Widow. She actually has a lot of people that can just be like,
Hell,
you're gone
even
in
though Iron
particular.
Fist can't fly, that man can stay airborne for quite a while.
Oh yeah, fucking Iron Fist. The fact that Iron Fist is counted to flying characters is crazy to me. That shit's crazy.
It's that triple jump. It's that triple jump.
I mean, to be fair, Spider-Man can fuck people up in the air too, but that shit's wild of him just being like, and I'm just on your ass, bro. And it's like,
It's also
damn.
that magnet that he has whenever he punches too. That really
Oh,
helps him
dude,
out
that's
on
like
that
the.
aspect.
I'm gonna be honest. That's like the number one. That magnet thing he does is so good. I need them to give that to other melee characters. I'm not kidding. It's almost not fair. Like the fact that Spider-Man can't do that sucks. like because he's predominantly melee with the exception of his little like his webs, but like
Mm-hmm.
the game wants you to punch people more as Spider-Man than it wants you to just keep hitting people with web balls, right? Like web ball is a part of your kit so you can get in so you can hit them.
Mm-hmm.
So if like
Do
he
you
just
think do you
same thing
think
with
most
Wolverine.
characters?
If
Mm-hmm.
Wolverine had that magnet, like he'd be significantly scarier with that.
Yes, I do agree.
I'm just like, bro, magic with the magic doesn't even need it. I'm gonna be honest, magic does not need it. But if she had that little bit of magnetic uh field to her,
Mm-hmm.
so helpful with killing people. Like him having that is so good that it genuinely feels like you probably should just give that to all melee characters because
Yeah, I can imagine it.
it's just a little too good.
Mm-hmm. But do
Like
you
not
think
even
like
too
most
good. It's just like it feels like that's just how the melee characters should be, kind of.
should have been mechanically put in there because of the fact that they'd be so close?
Yeah. He's like, let me zip to them. Don't let me just have them run away too easily. Let me get a little closer.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm gonna be Spider
But do
Man, let
you
me be
think?
on their ass. If I gotta punch them,
Mm-hmm. But do you think that most melee characters should have actually had like that sprint button too that Cap has?
no, no.
No,
Captain.
so
So
not like Iron Fist or
I'm
anything
not
like
gonna lie.
that.
I was gonna say Captain America should probably have that, but I actually think that none of the tanks should have the magnetism. As much as it would make more sense for Captain
No,
America to
no,
have a
no, no,
little
no,
bit,
no, 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 no,
but
no.
the
Not like
tanks don't need it. I feel, but
not the
like,
magnetism, the sprint
but the
button, the sprint
sprint.
button for like melees essentially.
So I found out that someone else has a sprint. Oh, Black Widow has a
Black
sprint.
Widow, yeah.
That threw me off. I was like, what? But Black Widow
But
also
I'm
has a sprint.
thinking to me that like Iron Fist, even though he like kind of jots, and he has that jump and everything, him sprinting to the back line and dipping back out would be really fantastic.
I don't think he needs it considering he has so many ways of getting around people. Like
Mm-hmm.
Home Dude has like a wall run, a triple jump. Like he doesn't need a sprint. He just doesn't need it.
You
He
don't
can
want to do a drive-by punch and just get
he could
away.
he could throw out the kick that does more damage the lower health enemies are, and I'm like, if he just threw that out, that's like a travel tool he has too. I'm
Yeah,
like,
you
nah,
do travel a far distance with that. I
he
think about
doesn't
that.
need it. Yeah. Certain characters I'm kind of like, yes, yes, no, right? So like,
Mm-hmm.
do I think Hulk needs it? No, he's got the jump. Do I think Black Panther needs it? I feel like it'd be nice for Black Panther to have it so he can run next to Captain America and then do his crazy speed stuff. But at the same
Oh, that
time,
would be cool.
dude's Genji. So like it's not like his speed isn't represented. It's just doing it.
Mm-hmm.
um but I do think like if I really think that the Black Panther Captain America moment where they're just sprinting and they're next to each other would be
Oh,
really
that would be
cool to just
fantastic.
be
I
in
would love to
this.
see that. Just the two of us booking it. Just
Spider-Man doesn't need it obviously. He can swing
no, he
like at
has
any time. He has
any
like the
the
best
swings
mobility
are
in the
more than
game.
enough.
Mantis is weird for being able to run as fast as she does by default. Not even gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess it allows her to get to people as quickly as possible because her movement and speed is crazy. So it's just so she can catch people. Um, I think Storm should have a sprint, and it sounds weird, but I kind of think she should have like a fly faster button. Which some people might be like, isn't that just her speed buff? No, I need her to like move more so that she's not like a sitting duck all the time. So that'd
Mm-hmm.
be nice. Wolverine, maybe.
I mean, he has the leap. That's the
He has
main
the
thing.
leap. He has a leap. But like as far as like sprinting goes, I'm like I feel like he can get on somebody's ass a little decent, but sometimes I'm like, it'd be really unfortunate if you can't reach that guy with those claws of yours.
Mm-hmm.
Short arms. But he's not that bad. I'm trying to think of who else. It's very little characters I can think of that would need a sprint though in that game.
Not Squirrel Girl.
Squirrel Girl doesn't need it. She's got like crazy mobility as far as like jump. Her jump height is
The
crazy.
tail.
Yeah, with the
Mm-hmm.
tail. Plus, she's meant to be in the back most of the time.
Yeah.
Something that most
Mm-hmm.
people didn't know. Like Squirrel Girl's meant to be like she's supposed to be the backline DPS to like help out the healers, keep them safe, and also like she could just lob whatever she's doing across the map into the fray. She doesn't have to be
Hmm.
anywhere near it. And then you get the jump so that you can actually look down and hit certain targets if you want to. Like it's she's fine.
Yeah, she's good as is. I really don't think there's any other character that would like, need a sprint button, to be honest. Because any like real ranged sniper character, you don't need it.
Yeah.
You're there to be at a distance anyways. You get caught lacking, you get caught lacking. You got to do your best to defend yourself. Um, as you said, tanks don't really need it.
Yeah.
Cap needs it because of the fact that he doesn't have anything else aside from that right now.
Yeah.
He
That's like
should get a
that that's
damage
like
buff
his
for
main
ability.
gimmick more so than anything
Mm-hmm.
else. That's what you
He
do the
does need a
big
damage
run
buff
into
though.
jump. He
It's like
could
I don't know,
yes and no. As I'm playing
5%,
him, I'm like
10% increase on damage at least.
the reason why I'm saying no is because he is supposed to be a tank. And I feel like he's doing what is appropriate for a tank. And then I also know about like how his kit works a little bit better. So you know how like because you played him a decent bit. You know if you get
Mm-hmm.
2 punches, you get to throw the shield, right? Like
Yes.
yeah, like you always get it. Just always happens. 2 punches, throw shield. 2 punches, throw shield. Right. So because of that, I don't think it's too bad.
Well,
Right.
the main thing for me is that every single either it's just because of how I played with him, or how my teammates are, how good they are. I feel like I can't secure kills that well, and
I
I
mean that's
see like
true, but as a tank, you
Thor.
don't inherently need to. Thor is
No,
low
you
key.
don't need to,
Thor
but
is secretly a DPS. Is the
I
deal?
see Thor, I see Hulk and Penny get more kills than Cap
Well, to be
on
fair, yeah,
average.
that's true. Penny has a
Because
gun.
that's the main thing.
To be fair, Penny has a gun and a bunch of mines. People just walk into them all the time. And I'm not gonna
Yes.
say that I don't do that. That happens because she just throws them out and you don't see them coming sometimes.
Hmm.
Um, the Hulk can chase people down pretty well. I mean, like probably not as well as you can genuinely. So like, get it. I can understand how you're like, I don't get to secure kills like that. Um, Doctor Strange has like 2 different modes. He has like the shooting mode and like cause he also has a gun, and then when his gun is
Hmm.
used, he does a body explosion. So that's kind of nice for him. Maybe Cap could use the magnetism. It's a little weird, but I guess he could, or like
I
a
I
little bit
don't
of a
think he needs the
damage buff.
magnetism. The whole shield throw is
Yeah, the
good
shield throw
enough
is
because
really
it
nice.
ricochets. If anything, increase the amount of ricochets you get off of it. Um,
The shield
but
throw
other
does a
than
lot
that,
of damage though. It does a
he really
decent amount
just
of
needs like
damage.
a slight, very very slight damage increase. Because if you're partnered with Thor, or I don't know if it's the same buff you get from Storm is with
Oh
it.
no, no, no! You just get it from Thor, which is
Okay, so if
a
it's just
little
so you get
unfortunate,
that
but
Thor
yeah.
buff, yeah, you get more damage.
Yeah, because you hit the Thor button, you get you start throwing the
Mm-hmm.
shield
Get
out,
that lightning, and you can throw out your shield more often than not.
and you'll clear out a room for sure.
Mm-hmm. And
But
his
I
also
definitely
benefit
agree.
is the fact that he can reflect ultimates with his shield. So,
True, true. That is a really good.
but that's like a once
It
not
has
once
to
in a
be a
lifetime
projectile
thing.
one though.
Mm-hmm. It has to be projectile, yes.
So like Iron Man's big blast
Mm-hmm.
kind of
I
thing
think Hella's thing
across.
can be reflected.
Oh yeah, you can. I mean, if you can keep the your shield up long enough, because
Mm-hmm.
she's doing a lot of damage, but you can reflect it back at her. You can probably reflect
Mm-hmm.
like 2 shots, 2 or 3 shots.
If I remember correctly, you can somewhat do Punishers, but he has so much ammo that he rips through your shield completely. Same thing with Quill.
Mm-hmm. But
And Scarlet Witch. You can't reflect it, but you can tank it if you have the shield up
oh yeah, you can block
correctly.
it. You can block it. I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate that. It's like pure energy. No, pure chaos.
But no,
Pure
stop it.
chaos. No, stop. I'm not dying.
Oh, and Magneto's ball that could also be blocked if I remember
That makes sense.
correctly.
Yeah, you can reflect that one. I mean, needle ball is crazy. If you shoot at it, it does more damage to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't shoot at him when he's doing that.
No,
Don't
he will
ignore him,
suck
but
that
don't
in.
shoot at him. Shit's ass. That being said, I think we can call it for this one actually.
Oh yeah, we are way over.
Yeah, well, we're not over. We're doing good. But that'll be it for this one. Thank you for joining us on this one. This was probably gonna be called villains. Well, thank you guys for joining us on this one. As always, we appreciate you and everything that you guys do. Do the thing that you guys do where you go look at the stuff that we got, so you can hit us at paperplayaction@gmail.com.
One more time.
That is paperplayaction@gmail.com, or you can look at paper action or paper_action or paper play action on other things like Blue Skies and Threads and places like that, because we're over there on those with those names as well. And if you send us an email, we'll answer those questions that you might have for us.
We would love to read it. We would love to see them.
You can always support the show by hitting us up on Patreon or hitting our little tips tab for that. Or what is the best way to just spread the love, tell people about the show, enjoy having other people that enjoy the things that you like. It'll be fun.
It will be amazing to have more rants about Marvel Rivals or Fairy Tail or
so many rants. So many rants. In fact, if you haven't been paying attention, there has been a mini rant going on in the background on Twitch. Yeah. So apparently we have to watch the new trilogy. And that shit's gonna be ass. But we are watching all the Star Wars movies over this. That's fun. Enjoy.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna have to definitely watch that one. I can't wait to hear all the complaints. So
a new trilogy?
The new trilogy of Star Wars, which is episode 6, 7, 8? Yeah. Basically.
They're being remastered or?
Not remastered, we're just watching it. We're watching it.
Oh, we're watching it. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought like people were going to.
No. We are watching it. We're putting ourselves through the torture, and hopefully no one dies. Hopefully.
I don't think anyone will die, but most definitely words will be said and people will be flung.
Yeah. But I feel like the moment someone's like, I like this movie, or someone's getting stabbed, and it's not gonna be my me. But someone might get stabbed.
We know who. We know who's gonna do it.
Someone might. That being said, that should do it for this episode. So without any further ado, bring this one to a close. Farewell.
Till next time.
Peace.